But as I was saying about the pagan holiday, as I went out of the last one, yeah, the wind knocked down our little canopy, threw my witch's hat across the way, and we was giving out all that candy. And I was looking at all those little kids, and I thought, Lord, look what we are teaching them. And one little girl come in there dressed like an angel. And I just sunk low. I was like, poof, right there. Thanks, Lord. That's the final nail in the coffin. Thank you very much. That is, and Flip was hollering for Pastor Dallas. Come save us when those winds started up. I thought you hollering for the wrong person here, man. We about to be carried off like Enoch in the whirlwind, and you won Dallas. No, I'm going to call on Jesus, because here I sit in this witch's garb, and if the Lord returns right now, I'm done for. I'm done for, because I look like a Wiccan. And that ain't even who I am. But it was a good lesson. If the Lord returns and he sees you looking like the world, you think he's going to take time to ask you questions as to why you wearing that garb you wearing? Them fake eyelashes and all that makeup and whatnot. Why you trying to be a deceitful, deceiving person? No, because he done knows your heart. He knows about the lusts and desires in your heart to make people look at you. Well, let me tell you, I took that stuff off. And I said, I'm done, Lord. I'm done. I'm done. And I walked away. Because I realized in that moment, the fables are done. The Lord just finished killing them. The fables are done. I do not want to be that kind of person, and I will not teach a fable. Don't expect me to. There is nothing good about teaching evil. I don't care what kind of good spin you try to put on it. You're teaching children to dress like witches, and yet witchcraft is condemned by the Bible. And that's what I was doing. By wearing that garment. That was the example I was setting. All that has to be under the blood. What is the example you're setting before your children? Before your nieces, before your nephews, before the world? Are you bringing reproach upon the church? Are you teaching fables? Now, ask in one of the previous videos, are you one of those heathen? Because this is part 6 of Why Did the Heathen Rage? So are you one of those heathen that's raging against the king? Or are you a child of light? Because your fake stuff you got on is a bushel over your life. That fake persona you're putting out there has, you got blackouts on your headlights. In other words, people can't see your lights. Blackouts are illegal. You know that, right? Well, don't put them when you light. You're supposed to be shining the Lord to the world. Are you ashamed of Him? Don't say, no, I'm not ashamed of the gospel. When yes, you must be. Because you're not teaching the true gospel, you're afraid to. You're afraid to stand up and, as it says in 2 Timothy 4:2, preach the word instant in season. Be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Do you do that? Do you stand flat-footed with those that you worship with that are not baptized in His name and tell them, it's like this, you have to be baptized. You have to. You have to be baptized in His name, or you are none of His. Because you are not born again without the water and the Spirit. And you can't get the Spirit without the water. See, when a baby is born into this world, there is water and blood that comes forth when that baby is born. You cannot take away the parts of a birth and expect it not to happen. You can't take away the parts of a birth and expect that baby to be born okay. It ain't going to happen. That baby will not be born right. You ever heard of them dry births? I've heard people talk about how, not often, mind you, but I've heard people say that it happens occasionally that there is a thing called dry birth. And that is where the woman's water had slowly leaked out during the pregnancy. And by the time she gets to deliver, the baby comes forth, but there's no water. And it makes the delivery really excruciating and hard. Because that water is what helps lubricate and send that child out. You know, like a rushing mighty wind, whoosh, to wash it out from the womb. But without that water to wash it out of its previous state where it's at, she travails hard. And now they have to take them by C-section, right? Because a lot of times when them dry births come, the child didn't survive it, did it? Or it was born without things it needed. If it did survive. So if you take and claim to be born again, anyway but the way this word calls for, you're same as a thief and a robber because you're trying to come up some other way. But also, you're being born without the things you need to survive. To live life and live it more abundantly, to live healthily in the Lord. Now, this Rosh Hashanah is very important. I'm going to state that right now because Rosh Hashanah is last year. Give me a moment. Last year we celebrated Rosh Hashanah, my family and I. I'm going to tell this for the glory of God. We celebrated it. And then right after, my brother died. And then 10 days later, my husband died. It is 10 days from Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur. This year, Rosh Hashanah falls on September the 25th. I don't believe in coincidence. That is the day my brother died last year. And Yom Kippur is 10 days later on October the 4th, which is the day that my husband died last year. See, we had went to celebrate we were celebrating Rosh Hashanah and a birthday. And together. Made it even more special to get to do them together. This year, I'll just be celebrating Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Birthdays are done. Um, the one that made celebrating worthwhile was Bo. Having someone to celebrate with. Don't get me wrong, the Lord makes everything worth doing. But when you have to do all these things by yourself, there's just no purpose to it anymore. You know what I mean? It's just void when there's no one to share it with. And no one to talk to. It's just void. I will always love Bo. That'll never change because love doesn't die. Doesn't go away, doesn't hide under a rock. I just try not to focus on that. Because right now I'm trying to focus on the Lord because of what's going on. Because of these things that He showed me. That's going on in the world. That's going on in the churches. How His people have forgotten Him. I don't want to forget Him. He's currently the only reason I have to get up every day. If I even go to sleep. That wasn't a thing. That didn't just happen because Bo died, though, by the way. I always had a problem sleeping. I didn't do it very much. And even since I was younger. I prayed a lot. People didn't know that about me. But I'll see you in part 7.